Rooted in resilience, inspired by nature, powered by movement. The podcasts where healing meets empowerment. Let's rise and thrive together. And now, here are your hosts, Scott and Melissa.
Hello, and welcome to Rise and Thrive, a podcast by Vital Edge Wellness Coaching. I'm Scott Sadler. This is Melissa Hedstrom. And today we're just doing a little life check-in. After many technical difficulties, we've made it to this point for this episode. And we want to just check in because we have a lot going on in our lives and we figured you do too. But first, to get us grounded, Melissa's going to lead us through a 45-minute meditation.
I could go there.
Yeah, it'd be easy to do, but we have things to do. So,
well, we went first and foremost, we are here right now.
present
Moment. So I am going to ask you, even if you are doing something else, to just pause for a brief moment, put it aside, and attend to the present moment. So if you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to, or soft gaze at something. Big sigh when you're ready, kind of let go of external things for a moment.
Motorcycle.
Let go of everything that you're attending to outside of this moment. So coming back to the present moment, Scott, right now, in this moment, you're, now my feet are not on the ground because I'm in crisscross applesauce in my chair. So if your feet are on the ground, I want you to feel your feet. If your butt is on your chair, feel your butt on your chair. And that's it. I want you to simply become aware of the contact you're making with the earth. And you're just giving yourself a moment to be right here and nowhere else. If your brain is pretty busy and there was a couple thoughts in those few moments, just notice them. Come back to your feet on the ground or your butt on your seat and just notice. Just breathe. Now, I know that is not as easy as it seems sometimes, so please let's complete this moment by just placing your hand right or left on your chest. Just feel that contact. You are actually making a literal contact with yourself, feeling that sensation of breath, and let's do another sigh right here. So even if you did feel a little distracted in that moment, couldn't quite focus on your feet, thinking about motorcycles, whatever you may be, it's okay. You're here, you're present, and we're going to check in. So
Nice.
I feel a little bit more here.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Here is better than there.
Well, theirs doesn't exist because
we're here.
Right. The only moment, as Eckhart Tolle would say, the only moment is now.
That's right.
Right? There's, thoughts about it, future, past, but can't go back to it. Can't go to it. So
I used that mantra this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just were talking about it in class a few months ago, my group class I was teaching. And someone is having a lot of stress going on, and it's like literally within the class, didn't want to just give her tools. We wanted to hear her, let her speak, and know that just her talking was a supportive thing. And then I encouraged her to go put her feet in the grass. I could tell she's outside for our session day in the group. And so she says, I'm going right now. And she took herself and she stood in the grass, and literally within the time of us all talking, she goes, she's feeling better. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of stress going on right now. She's so glad she came to class just to feel that support. And on top of that, putting her feet in the grass, I said, what's nice about that is it isn't like, oh, now you got to do this tool or this thing or this. The stepping in the grass does the work. Just get your feet there, and then you just have to let it happen. You could sit there and think about everything, but your feet are grounding. So pretty soon your nervous system, your body, you'll get that little bit of moment of like, okay, I can breathe again. And so she experienced that in real time in front of everybody in class.
That's great. Great. Live lab.
Yeah. So that was That was a good check-in for... There we go. So checking in.
Well,
When we said...
I had quite a weekend. The reason I bring up motorcycle is I rode to Bend for work. Got a big motorcycle tour coming up tomorrow and wanted to get my motorcycle on the road and make sure it was running well. And it was a great ride over. Had a great client session, spent the night and came back and was a little tired. So I decided to get off my motorcycle in Detroit just to take a little breather, have a bottle of water, walk around. And when I got back on my bike, it wouldn't start. It's about 90 degrees on a Monday in Detroit. Nothing's open in Detroit, Oregon, except Hilltop Market for all of you who are interested in knowing that. And I had to call a tow. It took 2 hours for the tow truck to come up, and I had a lot of opportunities to be upset, angry, had a lot of opportunities to have a lot of different emotions. And I took it all in stride, honestly. There was no place to be but on that smoker's bench outside of the market. And I had all my gear, and I stripped down into a pair of shorts and my Birkenstocks, and I sat, drank a few bottles of water, and waited. And I mean, in hindsight, it wasn't a bad experience. In fact, it was kind of a cool experience because I had an amazing conversation with the tow truck driver who was from Afghanistan. And he helped our military as a translator, and the Taliban discovered it, and he saw a lot of stuff, got his family out, and now he lives in Salem, Oregon, and he owns a tow truck company. And I'm giving you the high level version. I'd like to have him on our show.
Yeah, I was going to be like, that's going to be...
Because he really, he put things into perspective for me that my motorcycle broke down. Right.
Well, just even we're sheltered in our world of experience, but to hear it through his lens, that it's like we only see that on TV or hear about it, and he's like lived it.
Yeah, it does. We had some really amazing philosophical conversations that I'll save, but it was, for me, I could have been very upset. I didn't know what was wrong with the motorcycle, and I got it home, and as you know, I tore it all apart, thinking it was all these different things, and at the end of the day, my battery looked good, but everything looked good on the tests, but at the end of the day, it was the battery after testing all the other things, and was up till 2:00 last night, putting it all back together to be ready for tomorrow. A lot of things to be upset about.
Yeah.
And I'm going to miss my trip, and this is so annoying. But I was grateful because the motorcycles never let me down. And I just kind of took it in flow. And in my 20s, I wouldn't have taken that in flow.
Well, that's what I want to ask, because for our listeners right now, or watchers if you're watching us, you're like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome that you can do that, right? How do you think you got there to be able to have that kind of go with the flow and not... It was hot. It was like you had all the reasons to go off in any direction. And again, this isn't putting you on a pedestal and saying, well, you're just here, got it all put together. How did that develop for you to be able to have the capacity or bandwidth to be like, I'm going to roll with this?
You say it all the time. It's the practice. Honestly, it wasn't one day I decided. It was 25 years now doing yoga, 35 years meditating. My whole life understanding that nature is medicine for me. Those three things culminated into me picking a response between stimulus and response.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a lot of opportunity to be pissed, a lot of opportunities to be mad, and I got things to do, and I can't, I was like, well, 2 hours to kill in a town with nothing open. I couldn't go get a cocktail.
Not even to kill, to enjoy.
I couldn't eat.
2 hours to end.
In a way.
It's like an opportunity to just...
90 degrees in the heat.
Well, yeah, put aside all the tasks, right? Because you couldn't do anything about it.
Couldn't be on my phone. I was lucky to get through to AAA. But then my cell signal just went because it's hit and miss up there.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to stare at my phone. So I met some interesting characters.
Yeah.
A couple of riders came by and check on me, and a couple of odd guys telling me stories. One guy asked me, hey, how do I get to Florence? And I said, the coast? He said, yeah. Am I going this way or that way? I said, no, you want to go this way until you hit I-5. And then what? Take a left, stay south, Eugene, Florence. He goes, okay, thanks. And Idaho plates. He got in the car.
Good luck.
Yeah. So it was an interesting experience. And then getting home and putting my motorcycle away and and just grateful to be home. And I was hungry and I needed a shower. And I was like, man, the water feels so good and the food tastes so good. And I was tired and actually felt fulfilled. And I was safe. I could have stopped on a logging road somewhere and not had any help, no cell service. And so that's the other thing. I'm a believer in the divine. I'm a believer I'm being guided. Maybe my perfectly running motorcycle stopped there to keep me from something that could have happened down the road. And I have to believe that those things are possible. So yeah, there's a lot of examples, right?
Well, I was going to say I appreciate sharing because that's what I knew is like for you, because I know your past is that accumulation of your practice. And so, those of you that are in the practice, starting the practice, exploring the practice, often don't, because of our current world, we kind of have gotten trained to have this immediate gratification. And we try something and we're like, oh, it doesn't work, or I should get something from this and I don't see any results. So I like that Scott's pointing out it's the accumulation of his dedication to these practices to get to know his body, take care of his mind and body, all of that then shows up in these moments.
Yeah, when you need it.
So I'm sharing that because that's, to give inspiration to those that are like, I've been doing this for this and I'm not seeing, a lot of times, I think it's even the quote I posted today on my Instagram. That's all I do is post quotes right now. But the quote is something to the fact that it's the small little changes you don't even realize until it's accumulation and
it's changed.
And so trust the process, please. You keep dedicating yourself to these moments and showing up for your practice, putting your feet in the grass, and before long, the way you handle life, your perception, your choice of reaction or
quality of life. Years ago, I built cottage stone retaining walls in my backyard. It's a level garden, different levels of garden. And one of those retaining walls goes along the sidewalk below a gutter. And that particular gutter has a slow leak when it rains. And it hits one of those cottage stones. Just like that. I don't know if you can hear that, but
it's tapping on the table.
And when you look at all these years, it's probably been 25 years since I built those. There is this pockmark, one drip at a time.
Yeah.
Eroding away that cottage stone. Now, those things used to bother me, like, oh my God, I got to replace that or I got to fix that. But I've learned to look at that as a metaphor for the practice, because one drip of water will eventually, over time and practice,
change you.
It will erode boulders. It will cause landslides. It will melt away any object in its way, given enough time and practice.
It made me laugh because I think about it. If anybody's ever watched the episodes, Grace and Frankie's all like, I'm like erosion. I'm going to happen. So it does, but it don't, it's over time. I think everything's fine, but it's all moving.
But it'll happen for the negative too.
Right. Oh,
right.
Of course.
So you get to decide.
You get to choose.
Yeah. So
go back to our episode on choice.
Yeah. Well, and we wanted to be sure that we're going to do these check-in calls occasionally about what's going on with us, because we hear it from our clients all the time what's going on with them, but we feel like we need a dialogue with all of you to stop and check in with yourself as well. And I gave one example of the motorcycle, but we're dealing with family members who are struggling with dementia and Alzheimer's. You're dealing with kids growing up. We're dealing with aging parents. We're dealing with running a small business and businesses, that's true. And trying to keep ourselves busy and earn income and keep expenses low. And it seems like
I'm trying to be unbusy, but yes, go ahead.
Unbusy, but more profitable. It seems like time is moving so fast and we're trying to slow it down while actually staying engaged and growing. Yeah. And we feel like all of you are feeling that too. And our guest next week will maybe talk about time today compared to what it was on a human level, I hope. But we want you to know that we can relate.
Yeah.
We talk about the practice, we talk about the tools, but we have the human experience.
Very much so.
I can't imagine not having a practice and having the human experience. It would be very stressful.
Yeah, it is my structure to stay sane.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when bad things happen, you have something you can rely on.
Yeah.
And I know it's gotten me through a lot of bad things and a lot of good things too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our episode. Get out into nature. We're going to just so repetitive. Oh my God, get your feet in the grass. Do your practice every morning. Move your body. It is important. So let us know in the comments how your practice is coming along. Let us know where you're struggling and you found some light from your practice in those struggles. Rate our podcast, please. Give us a review and tell your friends about us. And if you need...
If it's good.
Tell them if it's good. The old adage. If it's good, tell your friends. If it's bad, tell us.
Yeah. No, we'd like to hear different topics you'd like to hear. And we're really looking forward to a guest next week. And
yeah.
So.
And don't forget, if you need anything support outside of this podcast, you have 2 master life coaches in the room with you right now. We do leadership development. In fact, we got an amazing speaking opportunity coming up in September we're going to do together. So if you need any wellness workshops or anything like that, let us know. And in the meantime, take care of each other and don't forget to take care of yourself. And we'll see you next time on Rise and Thrive.
Namaste.
Thanks for tuning in to Rise and Thrive, a podcast by Vital Age Wellness Coaching. If you found this episode meaningful, please rate, review, and share it with someone who might need it. For upcoming retreats and to join the Vital Edge Wellness community, head to vitaledgewellnesscoaching.com. Let's rise and thrive together.